Hi, everybody, and welcome into the non-named AFC Wild Card preview show here with Kent, Bob, and Katherine. Producer Brian here. Let's dive into the Colts versus Bills on Saturday. Phillip Rivers gets the Colts back into the playoffs. Josh Allen and the Bills looking hot. Bob, what do you think about this matchup?
I think it'd be a hell of a game. I never want to discount Phillip Rivers, but I can't tell you the last time he's won a big game. Because I don't think he really has. He's never got to the Super Bowl. And I think they could be a thorn to the Bills, but I really trust Josh Allen more in this game and Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go with the Bills over the Colts.
Katherine?
Yeah, I think the Bills get it too. They've been on such a hot streak lately. And the Colts are interesting to me in that I feel like there's always, when you're so immersed in following one team like the Cardinals for us, you can't always have as good a sense of every team in the league. And I feel like there's always one team that flies under the radar for me. And this year it was the Colts, where every time I saw their record, I was just like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. All right. But I don't think it's enough to get past the Bills, who have been so dynamic lately, particularly since that game in Arizona. And I think just they've built so much around Josh Allen that it's going to be fun to watch.
And you're picking the Bills?
The Bills, yeah.
And Kent, what do you think?
I guess we'll go 3 for 3. I can't see picking against the Bills, although the weather's supposed to be okay for Buffalo in January, which helps a dome team, Indianapolis. But the Bills won 9 of the last 10 games. The only loss was, guess what, the Hale Murray. I think they're just too good on both sides of the ball and playing at home. I got to go with the Bills.
Next matchup in the AFC, Sunday night matchup, the Browns versus the Steelers, and the Browns having some bad luck with COVID this week, and Stefanski not able to coach on the sideline. Arrested Ben Roethlisberger. Katherine, what do you make of this matchup?
Yeah, I think we kind of going into the playoffs knew that COVID was going to get to at least one game, and here's the front runner so far. Before that happened, I was kind of feeling the Browns, I think, just riding that momentum versus the Steelers, who have kind of looked a little dilapidated as of late. The end of the season just haven't looked as strong. But I think the COVID part makes it a bit more hard to predict. I'll still go the Browns, though.
Taking the Browns. Kent, what do you think?
Ooh, I think the Browns have too much going on, and there's no one in the world Steeler fans hate more than the Browns. And lucky for them, they beat the Browns almost every time when the game matters. Arrested Ben Roethlisberger, the Browns without their head coach, the Browns in the playoffs for the first time since 2002. I don't think they're mature enough to win this. I think the Steelers are going to win and win easily.
And Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely picking the Steelers. I think they've been in place. They've had this thing rolling for years, really, with Ben and Tomlin and these new receivers that are just making a name for themselves. To me, is the story of the game that I'm going to want to watch. And it's too bad that COVID's hit Cleveland the way it has, and it's not over yet. Hopefully nothing else happens, but I don't see how they can overcome any of that. And by the way, Ken, I think the Ravens Steelers is still more meaner and nastier than Cleveland, but that's just me.
Pittsburgh has a lot of hate to give. So, sometimes that fuels people.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Ravens take on the Titans on Sunday in the last AFC matchup. Kent, what do you think about this? Lamar Jackson, getting into the action here in the playoffs. Can they get over the hump and get a win? But the Titans look really good.
Yeah, to me, this is the most intriguing game of the 3 AFC games this weekend. I think Baltimore's won, 5 in a row. They've kind of found themselves, although, that they didn't have great competition in those games. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think they're going to go into Tennessee. For some reason, they're favored. I don't really get that, but to me, it would seem like an upset. But I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Bob, let's come to you.
They are favorites, and I think for a reason. I think they're a better team than Baltimore. I never thought I'd be rooting actually for Ryan Tannehill to do anything, but I love what Tennessee's done this year. I think Mike Vrabel has done a hell of a job as coach, and probably will lose coach of the year to Stefanski, but of Cleveland. But I love Derrick Henry. He's a monster running back. And usually that helps you in the playoffs, but it's a passing league. I know all that. I can't wait to see Derrick Henry go for 150 and beat Baltimore.
Catherine, here we go.
Yeah, I agree with Kent. This is the most intriguing of the AFC matchups, particularly given how the playoffs went last year. I also am going with Baltimore here. I think just that rematch aspect adds an element for Lamar Jackson in particular. I don't think that always works for players, but I think it'll feed into him a little bit more, not in a nervous way as much in a let's actually get this done way.
Okay, that's the AFC Wild Card taking place over this weekend on Saturday and Sunday.